Positive energy all the time. Good to see you all tonight. Hope you had a great day. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're going to talk about a little politics. You know how we do. Rep your city. I'm representing Chicago, Illinois. Everybody on YouTube, everybody on Twitch, everybody on Kick, and everybody on both of my Facebook accounts. You know I'm representing Chicago, Illinois. We've got San Jose, California in the building. Rep your city, represent your city. Represent your city, represent your city. I've rested a lot today. Did go hang out for about 45 minutes with some people. It was good to see them. Some friends from out of town was close by. I didn't have to drive far. I drove over and checked them out. And their relatives and friends came. It was nice visiting. We got Oakland in the building. They started talking about politics. I'm a two-sided coin. I'm an extrovert and an introvert. So I really didn't say anything too much. On my live stream, I talk because that's what this is designed to do, express some of my point of views. But in person, I don't talk too much. I don't chit chat on the phone. You know, I'll call my offspring, my sons or my daughters. Hey, what's going on with you? What you doing? Oh, okay. How's work? How's your mate? Have you checked with the children? How they doing? Okay, cool. I'll talk to you later. Click. Short and sweet. The only time I'm on the phone for a while is if the person that I'm talking to has things they need to talk about. We got Orlando in the building, so I called one of my associates or one of the brothers I did business with, was a part of the crew. If they're going through something, I might be on the phone 45 minutes to an hour listening to what they're going through. And I'm in a responsive mode where, I'm responding and trying to talk to them about what's going on. Me, if anything's going on with me personally, I'm not talking to nobody. I don't discuss nothing going on with me at no time. If I'm with a queen and something's going on with me, that my queen obviously is there with me while it's going on, yeah. We will discuss it because it's involving her and she's there in the midst of this situation. All right. So if I'm with the queen and we're living together, If it's a new relationship and we're not living together, I'm not telling her nothing, you know. But if we're living together, I don't have to tell her because she's right there. And, when we don't live together, we're two different people. When we live together, we're one. So in those cases, yeah, they will know what's going on. Whether it's in the streets, whether it's some associate that I'm no longer dealing with, I will let them know so they would know how to function. So if I've been dealing with you, I'm not dealing with you no more. I got up the fire to my queen. That was Jacob. I don't deal with Jacob no more. He's a goofy. He's a loser. He keep talking crazy. I'll do him dirty. I'll tell her what I don't even tell Jacob. I might not tell Jacob he's in danger. But I'll probably tell my queen, Jacob in danger, playing with me like that. You know what I'm saying? But I won't necessarily tell him, Batman move in silence. So, yeah, but Queen, I'm living with her and it's my, yeah, but anybody else, I don't discuss my business. If you want your business to be your business, then keep your business to yourself. Now, women are different, so I will listen to a woman, but it's the same thing. Whatever she tells me, whatever anybody tells me, stops with me. Whatever anybody says to me stops with me. It will never go no further. Never. So whatever goes on with me stays with me, stops with me, ends with me. And so I was with these people. I didn't say too much. I listened to them. They were talking about politics. Politics is a very divisive conversation. So we got Chicago in the building, the beautiful Lolita. Good to see you, sweetheart. But I was thinking about it, so I will share my views on the situation with my subscribers. Maybe I can help some of you. I don't do politics. I will get politically active on social media if there's a candidate that I like. I might say I like them. It depends. It depends. So I might say I like them. It depends. Uh, most times I won't, but it depends. I might promote them to try to get them some votes. And mostly it'll be to try to get them some votes, but it won't necessarily just be about me expressing who I like. It'll be just about me trying to get them some votes. I might do that. But once the election is over, it's over. I don't really think about candidates once they're elected or not elected. I don't think about it. So I haven't been thinking. I don't think about Trump too much on the Republicans. I'm not paying that much attention. I like to concentrate on my own environment, my own situation, my own economics. And I don't feel it makes any sense for me to be worried about something that I have no control over, once certain people get in office, it's a wrap. You're going to have to deal with whatever they issue out. Trump is the president. There's a lot of Republicans running things, and it is what it is. So I didn't really say much, you know? I didn't really say much. The pictures of the lovely ladies, I will be showing them sometime here and there. I got some more pictures for ladies to send. I'll be talking about that probably this weekend or next week to get ladies to send in some more pictures. So that's something I'll be showing every now and then. That's excellent, Joanne. And so I wanted to talk to you all because everybody was had their underwear and their panties all up in a bunch over politics in this hotel. They had a nice hotel suite though, like two rooms adjoining and then another two rooms next to them. It was a nice gathering. It was good to see them. At one point, one of the brothers that I didn't know, a family member of my friend, said, "You ain't saying too much, huh?" I said, "Hey, I'm just listening to y'all." You know what I'm saying? I'm just listening to y'all. You know what I'm saying? But there was a bunch of anxiety. And I noticed that anxiety because it's all over the internet. There's a lot of political anxiety. I watch Roland Martin and many of the other political spokesperson or whatever you want to call it. I watch, the various news channels on my social media, not on TV. I don't watch TV. The only thing I watch on TV only time I turn on my TV is to watch a series produced by 50 Cent. I don't watch anything. I turn it off. It's not very good. People tell me, watch this movie. I watch it, it's trash. And I'm like, okay. I don't take advice on movies to watch. It's a whole nother video. Movies are horrible. I guess a younger generation wouldn't know that the movies are horrible. So that's understandable. When they had less special effects, they made better movies, better acting, better plots. And now with all the special effects, they kind of lean on that, so the movie's horrible. But stuff is exploding and spaceships and all that. But the plot, the acting, is the worst. But I do see politics on my social media. I make sure I follow all the news networks. I need to know what's going on because it could be weather, it could be a tornado on the way, it could be hurricanes, it could be flash flooding, it could be serial killers on the loose, stuff like that. But the anxiety was crazy. And people were I could tell they were kind of gauging me because they were surprised I didn't have any anxiety. One queen said, "Who did you vote for, brother?" I said, "Oh, I voted for Harris." And the ones that was on that blue side, they was like, "Yeah," and the other ones, they was a little out of their body. At what point? Uh, at what point, who I voted for got anything to do with you? So that's why I don't do it because, especially the men, you kind of cross the line when you personally try to ask somebody else who they voted for and try to have an opinion on another person's vote. I can't see myself, even though I voted for Harris, I can't see myself making a comment about you because you voted for Trump. Like, that's not none of my business, especially if you're a man. If you're a man, That's kind of the B word with itchy at the end, you know? That's kind of the B word itchy. It's like, are you serious? So you coming all out your own personal life and your own household to try to tell me what I should do in my own personal life? Really? Who told you that? So I don't do the political gang banging, right? So that's why I don't like talking about it much. I find the women are very cordial, but I find the men these days are extremely I don't want to say feminine because they're doing stuff that women don't even do. So I don't even know what you call it. I don't even know what you call it when the men are worse than the women. So you can't call it feminine because the feminine women aren't like that. So I don't know what you call it, but the men, these are the worst group of men ever in 2025. I mean, social media reveals men are shot, zero masculinity, zero decency, no soldier about them. Just, I don't know what you call it. I never seen men argue and stuff. I used to see my father and them, they would talk smack back and forth, but I never seen men like this before. I never remember no uncles or no men in my family talking about politics at all. That's new too. Like, people never used to talk about politics. Even husbands and wives never discussed. I never seen my mother and father discuss politics. That was always your personal business. I wish America would get back to that. You go vote, and that's that. That's why you get behind a curtain. That's why you get behind a curtain. That's why you vote in a booth because it's private. It's not nothing. You go back to work. Hey, I voted for so and so. Unless you're campaigning like I did this past election. I was campaigning. But if I wasn't campaigning, I wouldn't have mentioned politics at all. What made me get into I'm not into politics. What made you get I'm not into politics. Where'd you get the what? I'm not into politics. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not into politics at all. People that are into politics is talking about everything. I'm not into politics at all. I'm on social media doing a live stream and I discuss what the people are into. I do that. So I discuss what the people are into. This is a discussion about the people having anxiety. This is not a discussion about me. I'm not into politics at all. I don't think about politics none. Zero. I think about uh, if there's things we want to get done, I think about that, and that could lead into politics, like legalizing marijuana. When that was happening, I was into that, pushing that socially and politically, but that was just about marijuana. That wasn't about politics. So if you want reparations, you're pushing reparations to the politicians, but you're not into politics. You're just into reparations. And you need to convince the political uh, candidates and political people to make reparations happen, but you're not into politics. You're into reparations, and you want the politicians to work on passing reparation reforms and give us reparations. But that's not being into politics. That's being into reparations. So I'm not into politics at all. Even this is just live streaming. So I don't pay any attention. If it comes across the media, I look at it. I don't pay any attention. I'm not paying attention to anything that Democrats and Republicans are doing. I see it. So in that terms, I'm paying attention. But as far as me getting emotional or anything over any of that, I'm not paying that any attention at all. I'll report what's going on. I'll report that type of stuff because I'm a live streamer. I do podcasts. I'm doing this live stream, but me personally, no, I'm not. I don't care nothing about anything that the politicians are doing because for what? Most of your personal comments and posts on social media doesn't change any political actions. You're still going to get the same results. So what's the point in venting about and venting is not going to change anything. Venting is not going to change anything. And so I was with these people. They were venting, but to me, it was just a bunch of hot air. Okay, and at the end of the day, what's gonna happen from them venting? They could have spent that energy talking about better things that they could actually do as a family. That energy could have been spent on something that they actually themselves could get together and do instead of talking about some politicians that come from all the different states that meet in Washington. And you just like talking, I guess, venting with each other, and the politicians don't even know you're doing this. Like it has zero effect. And so a lot of the people that's using politics like they do sports. Sport, I don't do sports arguments either. You ever been around men going back and forth about which team is the best? I can't call it feminine. I don't know what to call it because women don't do that. But men today are about as weird as they've ever been in the history of men in America, to be honest with you. Like, men will be arguing over who's the best NBA player and like totally unimportant debates, debates that have no end game, no nothing beneficial, a total waste of time. Anytime you're debating something with no end game or no plan or no type of movement for actual solution, what are you doing? And so right now in the United States, there's a whole lot of political anxiety. And that's what I'm talking about, the anxiety, the psychological effects. I'm not really talking about the politics. This live stream is about the effect on the American citizens. The American citizens are stressing themselves out going back and forth between the two sides, which is non effective. So there's a whole bunch of energy being spent that's not changing anything politically. It's just stress and anxiety from the two sides. Right now, it's really heavy with the Republican supporters that feel like now they voted the wrong way and they're losing big time and they're totally stressed out. Their anxiety is through the roof because they didn't vote for none of this. And it's wearing on them. They got so much emotions in it, and they got all these emotions in it, and now they got to deal with the actual economical results, and that economical results of their choice is now creating more emotions. So imagine having a whole bunch of emotions about who you think should be president. Then they become president. You got all this emotion that the person you want to be president. Then they get in there and do a bunch of stuff don't make no sense that goes bad for your life. So now you got to stack those emotions on top of the other two emotions. That's dangerous. So you got all these emotions all over the place. No actual power, powerless. And the anxiety levels is through the roof. I expect a lot of crazy. You can expect from here through next summer. Get ready. Well, psychologically, people can't handle this. Uh, there's a lot of different levels of mental capabilities in our country 360 million people. And y'all know people are going to snap. Y'all know. And they're going to snap in the worst way. I mean, my advice is if you go to a grocery store or anywhere in public, you better keep your head on the swivel. When you go out in public, you need to have a heightened sense of awareness more than you've ever had in your life. You better have your eyes open. When it comes to shopping and things like that you have to do, I would advise you to do it early in the morning or later in the evening. You're going to be fine 7, 8, 9 o'clock. You're going to be fine in the p.m. and you're going to be kind of fine at 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning when it starts 9 o'clock. But like 11 a.m., 12 noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, maybe up to 4 o'clock. That's when the lunatics going to be out. The lunatics coming out midday. Look at a lot of the mass problems, mass shootings. I don't know if I could say that over here. And look at what time of day they happen. They happen midday. It's always on the news while you're at work, ain't it? You're at work, a man went in the store and started shooting people. And you're always at work when it happens. It's always in the middle of the day where these people woke up on nonsense and came outside on that. You say it's crazy. U.S. has trillions for Israel, but can't give us reparations. Well, we don't really want reparations. So a closed mouth don't get fed. So I really can't be mad that we're not getting reparations with the weak push to get it. Typically, if you look at foundational Black Americans, if you look at Black Americans, there is really no sign that Black Americans want reparations. So how could you be mad you're not getting something you don't want? I don't. It doesn't look to me like we want it. I mean, I'm in a big city, Chicago. I don't see anything about reparations or hear anything about it. Never. And a closed mouth don't get fed. So 11 and up. Uh, Foundational Black Americans don't want reparations. So how could you be mad about not getting something you didn't ask for? That's like seeing a beautiful woman and not approaching her and asking her for a phone number and trying to go on a date with her and just letting her walk by and then saying she ain't dating you. You know, you know, I seen a beautiful woman today and she not dating me. You didn't say anything to her. You didn't ask her to call it. That's reparation. You just sit at home. You ain't saying nothing about reparations. You ain't got no campaign for reparations. And then you say they not giving us reparations. Like a closed mouth don't get fed. So Black America's push for reparations is pathetic. Basically non-existent. Even within the reparations movement, the word tether is bigger than reparations. Now, you love tether. Oh, you love arguing and disrespecting people. Now, you'll jump on that. You'll jump on that. You'll jump on the hate tether campaign, boy. You like that kind of stuff. Oh, you love that. Tether is the biggest word. You got FBA, you got ADOS, you got reparation, you got tether. The biggest word is tether. Tether is bigger than FBA or reparations. That's a fact. Because you might not can't stand up for something, but you sure could be a hater. Now, you good at being haters. Now, you're not good at campaigning for what you want. But if it's a hater, are you with hating? Oh, let's go. Are we hating? Oh, heck yeah. You good at hating. You're not really good at getting nothing, but you're good at hating. If it's something simple like just talking about somebody else, you with that. Now, as far as really organizing to get something, the Black man is horrible. But as far as gang banging or arguing with somebody or going to get somebody, oh yeah, the Black man is a really good hater. Now you can hate, you good at that. I got to give it to you. You good at hating. You're not as good as the white supremacists, but you're working on it. So reparations is like a closed mouth can't get fed. The reparations movement is not worthy of reparations. Foundational Black Americans is when it comes to your ability to ask for something and getting something based on pushing for it. If you judge it based on pushing for it, there's no way we worthy of reparations. The push is as weak as ever. It's totally weak. You don't see it posted anywhere, really. You post all that stuff you eat. You post all type of stuff on your social media. You do not post reparations at all. You don't see it come across your timeline. I don't never see it. I don't never see anybody post. I've posted it. I got a whole page that posted. I got a whole Pay Black Americans social media that posted all the time. I slowed down because I just was wasting my time. It was almost a waste of time. I'm trying to figure when I can turn back up, but it was obvious that black men especially are the worst. Like totally, I don't know what's wrong with black men in America. As a whole, it's horrible. We have a lot of black men that if you say you want to go right, they say we're going left. You got a lot of black men in America that love going against the grain. They just love it and get away with it. You have a lot of black men that's intentionally going against reparations. They don't have nothing to say about reparations until you say you want it, and then they say no. Other than that, they wouldn't mention it. They only mention it to go against their own brothers and get away with it. Because there's not enough of us to ban them out of our circle. And everybody just block them and let them go into oblivion. You let them do that. And so the media, they can go find them. What do you think about reparations? I think it's ridiculous. That was a long time ago. So the news media always got some loser to interview that's going to go against the grain. When everybody else don't care, so they can get away with it. But being around these people today, the amount of political anxiety is crazy. It's very alarming and dangerous. And it's up even higher with the food stamps being cut off, you know? It's even higher. Without, with the things that, with the over-the-top racism that the Republicans are demonstrating, like, how they did the black soldiers over there in Europe and take them, just going out their way to just erase. It's like payback for tearing down all those Confederate, which I thought was a bad idea. It was a bad idea to pull down all those Confederate statues and stuff like that. You can't pull down Confederate statues and all that and then be mad when they get in there and pull your stuff down. You could have just left that stuff and added your stuff, but you pulled stuff down. And then when you put your stuff up, they say, we'll pull your stuff down too. Duh. You pulled down, different generals and stuff that was honored in the country because they was Confederate and all that, which I thought was a bad idea. You say we deserve reparations. I don't know. You picking when to make your comments, which is suspicious. Let me ask you a question. Leveling up. Are we acting like we deserve reparations? Yes or no? Do you feel that foundational Black Americans as a whole are acting like they deserve reparations? Yes or no, so we can move on. Because I thought I already cleared that up. Yes or no? Are foundational Black Americans as a whole in this country acting like we deserve reparations? Yes or no? Because if we're not acting like we deserve it, your comment is ridiculous. Because if you don't act like you don't want it, you don't deserve it. We do not deserve reparations based on how we're acting. We might deserve it historically, but as far as how we are acting, no, we don't deserve it. How we deserve something we don't want? A closed mouth don't get fed. There's nothing about foundational Black men that says we deserve reparations. Unless I'm I don't see it. I don't see it. I think leveling up, I think you saying that by yourself should piss you off more than saying it. You should be pissed off you're the only one saying it. That's where your energy should lie, on why you the only one saying it. Where's the rest of the brothers and the sisters, especially the brothers? That's where you should spend your energy, leveling up, on getting other brothers to say what you're saying. But if you're the only one saying that and you don't see that as an issue, and then if you don't respond to none of this, I'm gonna have to have you come back tomorrow because then you're just a troll. Because I'm not gonna keep responding to you and you don't say nothing, then you wait a half an hour and come and type that again. I'm gonna consider that trolling. So respond to what I'm saying, like I'm responding to you, or come back tomorrow. Doom, 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 doom. Okay. I was gonna give you the clock. Do 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 do. Okay, come back tomorrow because you're trolling. So let's move on. Don't keep saying that. Let's move on. Don't keep talking about reparations. Move on. Get your butt out there and get other brothers to push reparations. And so this political anxiety is dangerous. It was some hostility in the hotel with them. I just came back and rested because I've been lifting weights and stuff. I kind of left early and came and rested again. I was like, okay, all right, it was good seeing y'all. Bye. Because I didn't want to talk about that stuff. I said, y'all on vacation. This what y'all want to talk about? This? Yeah. Talking about what Trump trying to take from him. And then he got the couple of brothers in there supporting that type of foolishness. And, anytime you're doing well and you don't have no type of charity, um, I didn't say nothing. They asked me about welfare. I didn't say nothing because my point of view, they wouldn't like it anyway. I think welfare is a good thing. I think I think a lot of the money we wasting on trash, flying to other planets and all that. And me, I would spend that money on. I would definitely pay women to have babies. If you want to have babies, I would definitely. That's a good investment because you need people. And so if you wanted to have babies, that's more people in the military. That's more people that could work. I wouldn't have no problem with you staying home having babies and getting a check to feed the babies. I wouldn't have any problem with that. It's about politicians not robbing all of the tax dollars and pretending we broke. Well, we're not broke. You're letting politicians rob us of billions and trillions of dollars that could go for public services. You're letting politicians have 5 properties, own horses, private jets, fly all around the world. That's where all the money's being wasted. That's just pennies when you talk about helping the public. That money don't even match. They're wasting trillions. Helping the public would only be like a billion, 2 billion. They're wasting billions. You know how many billions is in a trillion? They're wasting trillions and crying about a few billion that we would never miss if they wasn't politicians taking all the money and then giving it to these big corporations. Many of them that ain't even U.S. corporations, that ain't even their headquarters, not even in the U.S. They're letting people take money out of the country. Because they want to put their interests into robots that's going to fail because they're slow. Because any genius knows your number one commodity is people. The most valuable thing you have is people. There's nothing more valuable than people. And they don't want to admit that. So if a woman's having a baby, she's making people. So that's a good thing. Why wouldn't you help her make people and make sure those people get a good education and stuff like that? When your number one value is people. They're trying to make the number one value robots and computers that only work when electricity is on. People work when the electricity go off. Robots, if the lights go out, robots is done. You know, these are not the smartest bulbs in the lamp. That's a whole nother video, how Lucifer is controlling the powers that be and leading them off a cliff. Lucifer got these politicians and world leaders thinking that they're doing the people wrong. But Lucifer is a liar, and he's got them doing themselves wrong. Lucifer has these powers that be doing themselves wrong. They think they're doing the people wrong. They think that this evil that they following isn't benefit them. No. Lucifer is a sin-off. So everything that these politicians and these rich people is doing is going to destroy them. They don't understand that. They think that they're going to rule the poor. No. They're being tricked to destroy themselves. And they don't even know it. Because the devil is a liar. So why would you listen to the devil tell you, if you get robots, Amazon will work great? And it's like, you believe the devil told you to go get to computerize your whole business, and you're doing it? You're gonna be out of business. As soon as Amazon fire a bunch of people and replace them with a bunch of technology, Amazon is going to go totally out of business. All of their electronic stuff is going to stop working. And they're going to be done. Every time it's a storm, they're going to be closed. You can't be that stupid. Like, bro, every time it's a storm or a power outage, you're out of business. Are you serious? Crazy. An electrical storm don't do nothing to humans, but an electrical storm will shut down the whole electronic grid. I remember being in the store one time, and it was a outage, and I'm at the register, and all the lights went out, and then the backup computer came on, some backup system came on, some lights came on, but the cash register didn't come back on. The lady said, "I ain't gonna be able to ring your stuff up." I'm like, y'all ain't got no old cash registers. Y'all should at least have 3 old cash registers and some cash. Well, you can still, no. They done plugged all their cash registers up. Crazy. Imagine you had a house and you had a robot that shoveled your snow. And then it was a big snowstorm and the robot don't work and you ain't got no shovel. You know, that's basically the word today. They dumb. They dumb. Akon went to jail down there in Georgia because his Tesla truck ran out of battery energy and stopped running. And the police came, his truck in the middle of the street, found out he had warrants. Because this fool is in an electric truck that run out of batteries. Why would you buy something to run out of batteries? I'm in Chicago. I drove to Seattle. I drove to LA a bunch of times. Ain't no way I'm getting in an electric car to drive to no LA, and I got to stop and plug it up for an hour. I could pull up and get gas, some snacks, and be in the car and be gone in 17 minutes. Now I got this big piece of metal. I got to be there an hour and a half plugging it up. I was in a place where I was parked in an underground garage in an apartment unit to go see this lady. And I'm getting out the car and the dude pulled up and he said, would you mind moving over to the next parking space? I'm like, why? He said, because the electric plug is right next to that space. I said, okay. He needed me to move over so he could plug up his car. I said, dude. Bro, you got to plug up your car? Dude, are you serious? Another brother, he ran out of energy and he couldn't get out the car. He couldn't get out the Tesla truck because the doors and nothing won't unlock because you needed the electricity. So the police and fire department was there trying to help him get out his fancy car that ran out of batteries. Make it make sense. Imagine wanting everybody in an electric car before you know where you're going to plug them all up at, and is the electricity going to stay on? Because gas don't turn off. Yeah, he was stuck in his car, the brother, because it ran out of batteries. It ran out of electricity. Where you going to plug up? Electric cars mean they only intend for a few people to have them, and people slow. Anytime they propose an electrical cars, they mean only the filthy rich going to be able to drive. The rest of y'all ain't going to have no cars because there's no way they planning to have electrical cars and be able to plug up all these people. So if there's a plan to come with electrical cars, that means there's a plan for you to get on the bus, for you to get on the train, and for you to ride bikes. You're not going to have no car because they know they cannot plug up all these cars. Okay. Exhibit A. In 2023, there were approximately 284.6 million, so basically 285 million registered motor vehicles in the United States, which included passenger cars, light trucks, and other vehicles. More specific data for 2023 shows that there was 177 million registered trucks and 967,525 registered buses. So y'all believe you're going to be able to plug up 285 million, which this is 2023. So now 290 million. It's probably 290 million motor vehicles. Who believes that they will be able to invent a way to plug up 290 million motor vehicles? Are you going to be able to plug those up? Are you going to be able to plug that up? 290 million vehicles, you want to plug them up? And where you going to get the electricity from? You know me, I got 6 children, so I protect my sexual organs. And I really don't want to drive on top of no big old battery. Like if this is my car battery and this is the car, and I got to sit my testicles on top of this battery, it just ain't going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I mess around, get a woman pregnant, her stomach started lighting up. She have a baby, my baby touch a light bulb, it light up. You know what I'm saying? I got electric nuts. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting on no. Anybody ever dealt with batteries? Even your phone, like if you don't got a good phone, it'll get hot. So imagine riding on a hot battery, man, driving around on a battery. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I'm not driving around on no big old battery that's the size of the floor of my car, because that's how big that battery is. It's under the floorboard down there. Bruh. I'm not driving around with my testicles and my organs on no battery. You can forget that. Gas is in the gas tank, and gas ain't got no kind of electrical or nothing. But a battery? Ain't no way. You can't tell me there ain't a whole bunch of radiation and all type. What? And so with all this political anxiety, ain't nothing getting accomplished. You hear me? Arguing over a politician that can't afford to run for office, so some billionaires and trillionaires fund your campaign, and now you got to do whatever they tell you to do. So when I vote for you, I'm voting for the billionaire and the trillionaires that put you in office, because they done ran the campaign up so expensive that a regular person can't run for president. So to run for president, you got to go and get billionaires and trillionaires to fund your campaign. And before they fund you, they're like, okay, I'll give you this money, but you're going to have to do what I need done. And you're like, okay. I mean, this doesn't make no sense. So you're voting for whoever fund them. You ever see when Trump be talking? Hold on. Watch this picture. You ever see when the president be signing a bill? It always spooked me out. I'm never comfortable with it. I ain't gonna lie. I'm never comfortable when I see the president signing the bill. It always looked weird to me. I don't know if I'm the same one. And it'd be a bunch of people and you can't tell who is who. And I'd be like, I know some of these people. I know some of these people is controlling everything. You can't tell me that some of these people ain't controlling stuff. You know, who is these people? You know what I'm saying? And it'd be like some other politicians there, but it'd be some other weird people there. Y'all ain't noticed that? And there's always a couple dudes hiding in the shadows, and you like, who is dude? You know, who is dude standing back there clapping? What's his interest in all of this? And every time it's a bunch of different people just standing back there. Dude be looking like a puppet, and they'll just sit a paper in front of Trump, and he just sign it. It don't be looking like he know what it's saying. Am I the only one that be seeing that? When they sit the paper in front of him, and he just signed it. It don't never look like he know what he's signing. And we don't know who all these people are. Like, look on the far right, and you're going to see a guy with glasses, right? And if you look over top of the guy with glasses, you're going to see a dude with black hair with a mean look on his face. Who is the guy over top of the guy on the far right in the back with the dark hair with the mean look on his face? Who is that? Who is these people? Then if you look on the left, you see a woman. And then you go across, you see a man standing right next to the man with gray hair. Who is he? The one right there next to the picture with the gold on it. He the second from the left at the top row. Who is that? Like, who is y'all? And it's always this weirdo with the glasses on, always sitting and stuff on the desk for him to sign. And it's like the little weirdo with the glasses on to your left of Trump. It looked like he run everything. He know what to say. Trump don't know what not to say. He always send stuff down there. Dude just signing it. Dude just signing it. And it's like, wait a minute. Then they want us out here. You know what I'm saying? I got toxic masculinity, so I'm not good with politics because, you know, everything to me is a pause. So then they be like asking me, am I a Democrat, Republican? That be making me feel, I be feeling, you know, I be feeling like this. This how I be feeling. You know what I'm saying? I be like, go Biden, like go Trump. I can't really do it too much personally. I could kind of campaign and try to get y'all to vote for somebody I think is better than another person. But for me to really be out here with pom-poms and stuff, I really can't do it. And then I'll tell you something else I don't understand. Why they got all these different names? Why they got all these different names, y'all? Do anybody know why they got all these different names? They got 3 different names for the political groups. Y'all ain't noticed that? They got the Democrats and Republicans, right? Then they call them the liberals and conservatives, and then they call them the right and the left. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. I don't like that. Like I got it. I'm supporting all this. So let me get this straight. If I vote for a Democrat, I'm a Democratic liberal leftist. I'm all 3 of them. If I voted for Trump, you telling me that I'm a Republican, conservative, right. I'm on the right. I'm a right conservative Republican. I don't want to be all that. Really, I don't want to be none of that. If I vote for Trump, I just voted for Trump. Why I got to be one of these? Why can't I just vote and just be Pharaoh? Why I got to be one of these? Because I might vote for Trump for the president, but I might vote for somebody, a Democratic dude for the senator, and I might vote for a Democratic person as the mayor. I'm not going to necessarily just vote for all y'all because y'all one of these titles. So I can't flip it around. I can't vote for a Democrat here, a Republican here, and a Democrat there. I gotta be the right, or I gotta be the left. I can't judge each politician on their own. I'm voting for a group like. What? I don't want to vote for no whole group of y'all. I don't even know y'all. I don't know the right or the left. I don't know them. Who is the left? I don't know the left. If you're running for office and your name is James Johnson, and I like what you're saying, I'm voting for James Johnson. Don't be telling me because I vote for James, I voted for the whole conservatives or the whole liberals so because I voted for James and there's a man that changed himself to a woman that's a lesbian, you tell me I'm voting for them too? Because I met a person like that. Much respect to them. I met a man that had a sex change to a woman and said that it's a she now and says a lesbian. And then he got mad because I said, well, you was already sleeping with women, so you turned into a woman to sleep with women. I was confused. He talking about you just don't understand. I said, I just don't. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand. I respect everybody doing their own thing. I'm just saying, just because I vote for somebody else don't mean I'm voting for you, because I don't even understand what you're doing. That confused the hell out of me. Like he turned into a lady to sleep with ladies. I didn't understand none. I'm like, okay, I could see if you turned into a lady to sleep with men, handle your business. But you turned into a lady to sleep with ladies? I guess that ain't none of my business. But I'm still confused. I don't think there's nothing wrong with me being confused. I had to do the Scooby-Doo. You know, I had to do, remember Scooby who didn't know what was going on? He Scooby-Dooed me. I was like, I needed a couple plant-based Scooby snacks. That, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe it. I was like, roo. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe it. I was like, roo. I couldn't believe it. They be confusing me. I don't know. And so now all these people got anxiety. They all got anxiety. The economy is tanking. Their money messed up. Jobs are disappearing. Right? Jobs are disappearing. Companies is trying to replace employees with computers and robots. Right? You're not going to be able to drive a cab. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to be able to drive a cab. You ain't going to be able to drive a bus. You ain't going to be able to work at no dock. You ain't going to be able to do no shipping or no type of loading. You ain't going to be able to do nothing. You know, I went to Arizona not too long ago. And an Uber picked me up at the airport. Where I was going, I had to get on the freeway. And then when it's a main road they get to, and then I was going to my location. So when the Uber got off the freeway and it got up to the main street where we're going to make a left, the light turned red, so we sat there. And then this traffic started going. And that was the first time I seen Waymo. And in that time, I'm sitting waiting for the light for the arrow to turn. I seen 4 cars driving by themselves. 4. I only had to go down like less than like about a third of a block once we made that left. I seen 4 cars driving by themselves. I'm looking at the Uber driver tripping because I'm like, dude, don't see you finna be out of a job, bro. So the Uber driver's just in the blind. I'm like, bro, you finna be out of a job. You finna be out of a job. It was so crazy that when I went to the store, I had somebody drive and I got my phone because I had to come back and show people, and I filmed all these cars driving by themselves. So you voting and then they're going to take your job. Look. Y'all see how the dude was looking at me because I was filming him. He was just riding in the Waymo. He was just riding in it. And I was on the passenger side and I filmed him. He looked at it. I guess he was wondering what I was doing. That was my first time seeing those. They don't got them in Chicago yet, but they all over Arizona. They all over Arizona. And in many places now, I seen a video where it was 3 Uber drivers at the airport and they wasn't getting no ride. And everybody was going to the Waymos. Everybody. So we voting for politicians and they're going to replace you because they get money. Then another problem is you got politicians that's real, real old. So now these people in their late 70s and 80s, they finna pass away. So they don't care nothing about the future. They don't care nothing about the next generation. They want to get all the money they can to live their last days and leave it to their family. And their family got to worry about the future. That's what I don't like. You need to have term limits because somebody need to be president that when they make a decision, they got to live with it. But as far as Trump and Biden, letting them make decisions, then they're going to pass away. Then we got to live with their decisions. That's not cool. That's not cool. You're letting people make decisions that don't have to be here to deal with the consequences of their decisions. So what do they care? Remember what was that? 8, 9 months ago when they was threatening that it wasn't going to be no food in the store because the dock workers went on strike. That's why the dock workers went on strike. Because they're going to replace them with automation. You ain't going to have no dock workers. None. We voting for people that's replacing us. Seriously. Because you so caught up with this old stupid Democrat, Republican nonsense. And we not really voting based on nothing that really make no sense. I'm going to be honest with you. We done sold out. We done sold out. And we vote for people that ain't got no power, that they don't control nothing. And they just taking a bag and they ain't accountable to nothing. And they get up there and sell Americans all type of dreams and everything. And then they take that money and they go take that money and they put that money in the stuff that destroy Americans. And they put this on, and you ain't gonna be able to drive a cab or nothing. You ain't gonna be able to do nothing. There's not gonna be no jobs. You're gonna go into Walgreens, it's gonna be all automated. Ain't gonna be no cashier. You gotta bag your own stuff up. And they got these big old new freezers, refrigerators that got like bulletproof glass, and you can't see if anything is in there or not. I don't know if y'all seen these new setups in Walgreens. They showing you right there. And there'll be robots stocking this stuff in the back. And if it's riots or outbreak, you can't get that thing open. And the way it's made, it's got a scanner on it. And if you don't scan your microchip, that door is not going to even open. Not only that, every time you grab something in the store, it's going to immediately be taken out of your account. You ain't going to have to go to no register. Every time you put something in your cart, it's going to take the money out your account. If you put it back, it's going to put the money back. You ain't going to have to go to no cash register. All you're going to do is just push your cart right out. Just fill your cart up and just push it out the store. That's all you're going to do. You're going to fill your cart up. It's going to be then took everything that you put in your basket, and you just push it right out the store. This is how the store going to look. Just walk out shopping. See what it say? Just walk out the store. And I mean, they doing it with everything. What you think gonna happen with Waymo once they get Waymo to work good? Once they get Waymo to work good, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. They ain't gonna need you to drive nothing. The truck gonna drive by itself. Not only is the truck gonna drive by itself, they got this equipment that could just grab a tree at the bottom and cut it and pick it up, and then it sends the tree through and strips all of the branches and leaves off the tree, and then it puts the tree on the back of a truck. So you're not going to even be able to get a job cutting wood. They got machinery that do it. You don't need no lumberjacks or nothing. So they got a machinery going to grabs the tree at the bottom, like in a thing like this. Then it goes like this, and then the tree goes through here, and it strips all of the stuff off of it. Then they put it on the back of a truck that's going to drive it by itself. They're not going to need you to cut the wood on the back of this truck or drive it. These politicians that we voting for. You're going to walk down the street, and there's going to be robots that are going to be just standing there, plugged up, standing in their little electric station and stay plugged, and they're going to be activated. And anytime you walk by them, they're going to take care of business. And these are going to be everywhere. These are going to be everyone. They're going to be everywhere. Everywhere. And if you don't have a certain amount of money, the store not going to even let you in there. It's going to say you only got $1.89 on your account. There's nothing in this store that you could buy, Pharaoh. There's nothing you could buy. You cannot come in here. You cannot come in here. This is where we headed. Voting for these politicians that's in the pockets of these big corporations, and these politicians is old, so what do they care? And now you got to sit up here and you got to deal with a robot policing you that could malfunction in anything. The next thing you know, you got a gun in your face by a robot. That could be programmed racial discrimination and everything. The robot could be programmed who to like and who not to like, or the robot could be programmed to not like nobody. Your race might be a thing of the past. The robot might be able to scan how much you worth, and if you ain't worth a certain amount of money, you out of here. Don't matter if you Asian, white, black, or Hispanic. The robot might scan you, and they might start dealing with you based on class instead of race. You the lower class, shut up. If it don't scan that you a multimillionaire or something, you might not get no respect. And that's what's causing all this political anxiety, because people subliminally are seeing this coming. People are seeing it, and their mind is processing it in the back of their mind, not in the front of their brain. So they're getting stressed and anxiety, but they don't know why. They don't know they're getting it because there ain't nobody do no parking meters. Everything now is computerized. They taking money out your account. They paying you less. Your jobs is leaving left and right. Your body, yeah, and the stress is through the roof. The anxiety is through the roof. Everybody got anxiety over politics. Everybody. They're just playing it off. They're just playing it off. This whole thing with the government shutting down and people not being able to buy food during Thanksgiving, that's all anxiety. Think about a country where they cut off food stamps on the food holiday. Thanksgiving is a food holiday. Christmas got food and gifts. The biggest food holiday is Thanksgiving. And imagine cutting off food stamps for the food holiday. Imagine. It's the food holiday. And you cut off the food. You cut off the food on the biggest holiday that represents food. And you cut the food off. So these people, man, their anxiety was through the roof. I didn't say nothing. You could feel it. Even though they was on vacation, they wasn't comfortable. They even was worried about when they went to the airport, because the airport's been messed up because of the air traffic controllers. They had to go through all, the ones that flew here, they had to go through all type of changes just to get on a plane because of the government shutdown. The anxiety in America is through the roof. It's the worst I've ever seen. People is totally uncomfortable. Totally. They don't know what tomorrow brings. And I got friends getting evicted, getting kicked out their places. I got friends that can't keep up with losing their cars, losing their trucks, not able to keep up with their expenses. And social media is showing you, you can get money like this, you can get money like that, showing you all these people, showing you how to get successful, while in the real world, people going under left and right. People losing their homes, their apartment buildings, getting evicted from their apartments left and right, right and left. People sleeping in cars like a big dog. It was one young lady, she was sleeping, she lost her apartment. She worked for Starbucks. So when she got off work, she would sleep in her car behind the Starbucks so she wouldn't be late so she could make money to get another apartment. They found out and the manager told her, you can't sleep behind, you can't sleep here. You can't sleep on the Starbucks property. And this is left and right and left. You got people homeless going to work. You got people van living is through the roof. You know how many people living in vans? Through the roof. Homeless people everywhere. People with mental illness everywhere. Everywhere. Yeah, and being homeless is a crime now. They're going to lock you up for it. Yeah, they're going to lock you up for it. I mean, everywhere. In another year or two, a man going to have 2 or 3 women. You're going to see men with 2 women, 3 women, and their children all living in an apartment. They're going to start passing laws. You can't have but so many people in your apartment. Start checking your apartment to see how many people in your apartment. Because people going to cheat, have a 2-bedroom apartment. There's going to be a man and 3 women in there and 6 kids, 8 kids. Women going to start sharing men because they ain't going to be able to get, because so many men in prison. The desperation is through the roof. Suicide, through the roof. Overdosing, through the roof. Drug abuse, through the roof. Alcoholism, through the roof. Self-mutilation, all that is through the roof. Children missing everywhere. Everywhere. You're going to have to start putting Apple tags on your children. Hid in their clothes, hid in their shoes, so you can find them. If you got little children, you better not blink. They're going to be gone. I mean, it's bad and it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Before this Trump administration is gone, it's going to be bad. A lot of my friends that's Republicans, they super angry. They said Trump lied to them. Hey, man, it's some Republicans out here that is not happy. They telling me they didn't vote for none of this. This is what my friends that's Republicans, they pissed. They said we did not vote for none of this here. That they said that man straight lied to them. Straight lied to them. So a lot of my Republican friends lost money because of this guy, lost their job. They said, man, I voted for this man and he made me lose my job. The man I voted for. I got one friend, he called me like last week apologizing to me because he was on the phone pushing Trump. And he called me because his wife got fired because of Trump. Wife had her job for like 17 years. They got rid of her. Straight up. He hurt, man. I had to tell him, man, you know what I'm saying? Don't blame yourself. That ain't your fault. I had to tell him, man, it's not your fault. You know, you voted for him out of good faith. You can't blame yourself because you voted somebody you thought they was going to do good and they didn't. You can't blame yourself. He appreciated that. I said, man, you don't blame yourself for that. How you going to blame yourself for that? You thought you made the right choice. I ain't the type of person that's going to go now and, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go do people like that because they voted for who they gonna vote for. I campaign for who I campaign. You campaign for who you campaign. We both gotta wait to see if they do right. Neither side, we don't really know if these people gonna do right. So it's ridiculous to come down on each other about who you voted for when still neither side know if their candidate is going to do what we want them to do. It's totally ridiculous to I had somebody come over here talking about you voted for Harris. I had to get him out of here trolling all the time. It's like, bro, that don't got nothing to do with nothing. What that got to do with anything? That's water under the bridge. Trump is president now. And if she would have won, there's no guarantee what she would have did. There's no guarantee what neither one of them would have did. I said, this brother immature. Let me get him out of here. He's immature. Sometimes you be on a personal beef and you just start dealing with subjects based on the fact you're a personal beef. So he might have some type of personal dislike for me. So he's just bringing up stuff that ain't got nothing to do with your personal dislike for me. And not a man enough to log off and go watch somebody else. I got to block you and you're a grown man like that? And I think he's like an immigrant. If he's over here, they're going to throw him out the country. Under this administration, if you're an immigrant, they're going to throw you out. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that. They're going to throw you out. You're going to lose your job. Only if they make a big turnaround will you be all right. But under the way it's going now, if you're an immigrant, they're going to throw you out. Because they got to make any excuse to get rid of human beings because they're replacing them with robots. So they're going to have you think they're throwing you out because you're not American. No, they're throwing you out because you're a person and they don't need people no more. So the easiest way to get rid of some people is tell the American citizen. You can't tell American citizen we don't need no people. So what you tell American citizens, y'all citizens, y'all can stay. We're going to throw all these people not citizens out. They eating off y'all plate. And Americans be like, yeah, throw them out. But that's not the real reason they throwing them out. They throwing them out because they don't need people no more. They only got immigrants because they needed more people. They don't need no more people. Your services are no longer needed. Bye. There's an update on SNAP. They opened the government. Illinois is supposed to be getting a SNAP. As of right now, it's 12:01, and people in Chicago should be getting a day SNAP. But yeah, for all of the brothers and sisters and the men and women out here as immigrants, they not throwing you out because you know immigrant. They throwing you out because they don't need no people. And they don't want America to know they don't need no people. So they got the good excuse to get rid of a lot of people by saying you're an immigrant, you got to go. You an anchor baby. You this and that. You should have never allowed to be stay in the country. That's false. They're throwing you out because they don't need no people. Nobody's going to tell you that but me. They're just using immigration as an excuse. Those Venezuelans and all of them is in the way because their services are no longer needed. They gotta go. They don't need Mexicans building buildings. They're gonna build these small homes the size of a mobile unit trailer, and that's where America's gonna be living in mobile side unit homes. And all these abandoned homes, they're gonna tear it out. No, they don't want no more no people. No people do they want. White, black, or nothing. There's no need for people. People have to go. Amazon fired employees, not black employees, not white employees, not Hispanic employees, not Asian employees, not male employees, not female employees, employees. They don't need you. They don't need people. They're going to make you think it's race first. And then when you think you're safe, they're going to get rid of you too. Amazon confirmed it has laid off approximately 14,000 corporate employees and expects further cuts of up to 30,000 corporate jobs to reduce expenses, compensate for pandemic-era overhiring, and focus on areas like AI. The cuts, which started in late October 2025, are expected to continue into 2026 and impact various business units, including human resources, logistics, and cloud computing. The cuts are expected to affect up to 30,000 corporate jobs in total, with around 14,000 notifications already issued. The company cites a need to reduce costs, streamline bureaucracy, and relocate resources of its most important strategic areas, such as AI development, computers. The layoffs are widespread, impacting departments like human resources. Why? Because you don't need no humans. Human resources. What is human resources? Human resource is the department that deals with humans. As humans are a resource. Well, you're no longer a resource. Logistics. They don't need humans to do logistics. AI and computers can do logistics. And cloud computing. They don't need humans to do any type of computing. First round of layoffs began in late October, the other day, and are expected to continue into 2026. They're not going to go into details. Period. I've been telling y'all, let's take a break and we'll finish. mean, that's where we at with it. So you might as well get ready. They was going to do it regardless of whoever was going to be the president. It might have took longer, but this was still the ultimate plan. And political anxiety is going to go up. People are going to become more anxious. And the future is looking like a little bit of turmoil. When you mix this new computerized age in with the environmental disasters that we're going to be looking at, it's a clash. Imagine, let's just talk about the U.S. Imagine the U.S. planning to bring in more technology. At the same time, Mother Nature is becoming more destructive. Mother Nature and technology don't go together. Mother Nature destroys technology. They even got people so brainwashed that you think the system is God, and now you believe every natural disaster, you believe the system do it. I mean, you can't get people no more brainwashing that. People do not believe in any natural disasters. They believe every natural disaster is man-made. They don't believe in God anymore. They don't believe in nature. They believe that the system is like God. It's all powerful. To the point where they believe the system sets its own stuff on fire and the system floods its own system. So when the system floods and loses money, they say that the system flooded the system. The system's causing all the floods. The system's causing the earthquakes. The system's causing the hurricanes. The system is causing the tornadoes. They believe that. They believe the system is God. They don't believe there's no God. They don't believe there's no Mother Nature. They do not believe that the planet is out of tune with nature. They believe everything, all the natural disasters, they believe they system that they worship God. They believe HARP. Every tornado, HARP did it. Every hurricane, HARP did it. This week, I'm going to do a thing on that because they keep talking about HARP when it comes to Jamaica. And HARP was made in 1991, and I'm going to do a live and show you all of the hurricanes before 1991. And I want you to tell me, well, what caused them? What caused all the storms in the 80s, 70s, 60s, and 50s before there was weather machines? What caused all of them? What caused all the other hurricanes in Jamaica before HARP? HARP is not even designed to cause natural disasters. I will drop a little knowledge on y'all and then we're going to go. HARP is not designed to cause earthquakes and tornadoes and stuff. HARP is designed to warm up the planet. HARP is designed to warm up the planet, to make the water warmer so that the ice melts in the Antarctic and freeze Lucifer and the other fallen angels that was casted down into that frozen ice. They're in an ice prison. And in order to release Lucifer, the ice got to be melted. And so HARP is designed to melt the ice so that the fallen angels trapped in the Antarctic can be freed. And Lucifer was an angel that played the harp. Look it up. Lucifer was an angel, a musician, and his instrument was the harp. Let that sink in. Victory.